Welcome to video 1 of our Traveling Cells online learning module. Today you will be learning about what exactly cells are. Before you begin, please make sure you have a pen or pencil and your What Are Cells notes. You can also use Google Documents to type your notes while you watch the video. All words that you need to fill in are shown to you in bold green font, so keep your eyes open for those key words. Let's begin. So what exactly is a cell? Well, a cell is a basic structural, functional, and biological unit of all living things. Everything is made up of cells. The food you eat, the juice you drink, the germs on the floor, and every part of your body all contain cells. A cell is tiny though. It cannot be seen with the naked eye. It can only be seen with a tool known as a microscope. Microscopes are essential tools to use when studying cells. Powerful microscopes are how we are able to see what exactly a cell looks like. Let's magnify our knowledge and move on. Cells were discovered by scientist Robert Hooke in 1665. He had them called cells because they resembled the cells lived in by Christian monks in a monastery. Let's magnify our knowledge. So what is the cell theory? The cell theory is scientific theory that describes the properties of all cells. There are three tenets, or three main points to the cell theory. The first thing is that all living things are made of cells. We know that some living things, such as bacteria, are made of one cell, and other living things, such as plants and animals, are made of many cells. The cell is a basic unit of life. That's point 2. A cell is the most basic unit of structure and function in all living things. Well, number 3, cells arise from pre-existing cells. They can divide to make copies of themselves, and they do not come spontaneously or from non-living things. They have to come from other cells. Let's magnify our knowledge and move on. There are many different ways to classify cells. Remember, classify means to organize. We can classify cells as unicellular or multicellular. A living thing can be made of one or more cells. Unicellular organisms are organisms that are made of just one cell, while multicellular organisms are organisms made of many cells. Bacteria and protists are unicellular organisms. Plants, animals, and fungi are multicellular organisms. Let's magnify our knowledge and move on. Let's learn about unicellular organisms. Let's learn more about unicellular organisms. Unicellular organisms perform life functions using organelles. Organelles are structures inside of a cell. Unicellular organisms use the cell membrane to take in nutrients and gases, such as oxygen, and to excrete waste. These organisms also digest nutrients in organelles known as food vacuoles. They use cytoplasm, or a jelly substance inside of a cell, to transport substances throughout them. And they can use hair-like projections on the outside of the cell that we call cilia, or tail-like structures that we call flagellum, and they extend to one side of the cell, and those organelles, cilia, and flagellum help them move in their environment. Let's magnify our knowledge and move on. Now let's learn about some multicellular organisms. These multicellular organisms are more complex than a unicellular organism. Their cells work together. The cells that work together form tissues, the tissues form organs, and the organs form organ systems. Organ systems then perform important life functions. When we take in and digest nutrients, we use our digestive system. When a multicellular organism takes in oxygen, they use their respiratory system. A multicellular organism that uses their circulatory system, they use that to transport substances throughout their bodies. We use the excretory system to rid our bodies of waste, and we use a skeletal and muscular system to help us move throughout our environment. Let's move on. So now that we've learned about what cells are and ways to classify them, let's go back to our home page. There you're going to find an activity to do, and after you've completed your activity, you can move on to our next unit called Types of Cells. Get ready to magnify your knowledge. See you in the next video.